So guys, during the democracy speech by Tinubu, he said he is happy seeing opposition parties in disarray. So many people have reacted to that statement, that a sitting president saying he is happy seeing other opposition parties, having conflicts within them. I'm going to allow you to take a look at that video, but before then, I want you to take a look at some of these reactions coming from Nigerians on how they are faring under the Tinubu's leadership. Many people keep telling us that Tinubu has done marvelously well, and Nigerians are trying to tell us in what area. I mean, people cannot really relate when politicians come out to say Tinubu is the best thing that has happened to Nigeria, Tinubu's reforms. People are still wondering what are they talking about. Anyway, I'm just going to allow you to take a look at some of these reactions, and then you are going to be watching the video where Tinubu said he is happy seeing other oppositions in disarray. Take a look at the video.
I've never attempted to alter any political party registration with INEC. Equally, my dear friends and colleagues, we cannot blame anybody seeking to bail out of a sinking ship, even without a life jacket. Look at my political history. I will be the last person to advocate such a scheme. In year 2003, when the then governing party tried to sweep the nation clean of political opposition through plot and manipulation, I was the last progressive governor standing in my region. In their numbers, they boasted. In all their numbers and the false grandeur, they boasted of ruling, not only governing Nigeria, for the next half century or more. Where are they now? Yet I stood alone. My allies had been induced into defeat. My adversary held all the cards that mortal man could carry. Even with all of that, they could not control my destiny and could not control our national destiny, because fate is written from the above. A greater power did not want Nigeria to become one-party state back then. Nigeria will not become such a state now. The failed effort to create a one-party state placed progressive political party forces on a trajectory to form the APC. It put me on the trajectory which has brought me before you today. I dare not search a favor to any political adversary by repeating the same mistake of political overreach. A one-party state is not in the oven, nor should it ever be. That said, we would be guilty of political malpractice if we close our door on those from other parties who now seek to join the APC. I sincerely welcome our party's newest members from Delta and Akwa Ibom states, led by Governor Sheriff Oboweri and Pastor Umo Eno and other national members of this respected National Assembly. They are all welcome to the progressive fold. Nobody should close the door. Political parties fearful of members leaving may be better served by examining their internal processes and affairs rather than fearfully conjuring up demons that do not exist. For me, I would not say try your best to put your house in order. I will not help you to do so either. It is indeed a pleasure to witness you in such a disarray.
That would be faithful.
President Bola Tinubu promised a renewed hope agenda for Nigeria, but 2 years into his administration, the hope has been tested by harsh economic realities. From the removal of fuel subsidies to the floating of the naira, the impact has been deeply felt across the economy, leading to high inflation and cost of living. Despite the hardship, the government says some macroeconomic indicators show early signs of stabilization.
Under the renewed hope agenda of President Bola Tinubu, I think all agree that in 2024, the economy has made significant progress. And let me say that at the base of it all has been a recovery and an improvement in the security situation in Nigeria that lays the basis for all else.
For many Nigerians, there is a widening gap between economic policies of the Tinubu administration and the realities faced by the populace as persistent inflation continues to constrain household consumption and limit disposable income.
There is no flow. The cash is not flowing. The economy is slow. The reform, we are not seeing the impact of the reform. The reform does not have any much impact. So he should think, maybe rearrange the remaining 2 years and see. If not so, we will not vote him again.
You just as if they dig us for inside hole every blessed day. You not get any day where you go come market, where you go sell better market. And as a family woman where you be, or as a family man where you be, the little way you don't sell, carry go house. Children must shop. Children must transport, go school. All those things, before you know that happen, even the small money where you gather, you don't put for inside your shop, you don't they go down because markets no day. People are crying, people are suffering everywhere.
But now inflation is coming down gradually. Before, a bag of rice was around 90,000, but now I just heard it's around 70,000 naira. So at least that is supposed to also impact on demands and supply.
Okay, nothing like inflation where they come down. To make I tell you now, normal something where they happen be that. By this time rice they come down because people where they go farm, they go farm. Very soon now, in the next 2 months, come back, my rice don't go back to 100,000 naira. Now because I say farmers they go farm now, at least some people will get the courage to enter farm where this what they call them herdsmen no go destroy their things. They plant, they see things they bring out now, they see small. So nothing like inflation where they come, nothing don't call that.
The impact of these reforms is also felt across other sectors of the economy, including the transport and the electricity sector. While the cost of transportation has doubled, electricity tariffs have surged due to a subsidy cut. Even small businesses are struggling with higher input costs and shrinking consumer demand.
Things are not going well. As you can see now, you can see the market is very dry. You understand? People are not entering the market because of the cost of things, the way things cost inside market.
Going from Maitama to Lugbe, you spend at least 700. Before, from here to Lugbe, at least 300 naira, 400 will take you to Lugbe. Then coming, it's more expensive coming because you have to drop in Secretariat, then you continue to Maitama. You spend close to 1-2.
It has not been easy. And if you check some motorists now, in order to meet up with the demand, they try to carry 2 passengers in front just to augment.
A major focus of the Tinubu administration has been the MSME sector, which is critical for job creation and poverty reduction. The government over time unveiled a 125 billion naira plan to empower nano and small businesses through grants and low-interest loans, and another 75 billion naira for the manufacturing sector, an initiative that aims to increase access to capital and boost industrial growth. Despite this effort, challenges remain. Officials say the long-term impact outweighs the short-term measure.
What we are looking at is growing our way out of the deficit, growing our way out of relatively elevated debt levels. Of course, on inflation, we all acknowledge that there's a way to go, but the signal and the direction of travel is that inflation is expected to fall.
The economy under President Tinubu seems to have witnessed some level of progress. According to NBS figures, the nation's real GDP expanded by 3.84% year-on-year in the fourth quarter of 2024 from the 3.46% growth recorded in both fourth quarter of 2023 and the third quarter of 2024. While the exchange rate has improved, falling from about 2,000 naira in 2023 to a benchmark of around 1,600 naira in May 2025, the monetary policy now hovers around 27.5%. The World Bank, while acknowledging Nigeria's progress in its recent report, however, cautions that high prices and poverty remain a critical concern.
The fiscal position is much improved on the back of a surge in Federation revenues. Now, needless to say, the war is not won. many challenges remain. Inflation has remained high and sticky, and it will be crucial for the CBN to stay the course with tight monetary policy to anchor stability. But if it does so, as we anticipate it will, we expect that inflation will fall to an annual average of just over 22%.
Although the Nigerian economy may be showing some signs of resilience and recovery, inflation, however, remains a clog in the wheel of progress. Excitedly, Nigeria's Consumer Price Index headline inflation declined to 23.71% in April 2025, down significantly from its peak of 34.8% in December 2024, following the rebasing policy. Despite this significant decline, the cost of goods and services remain elevated, even 5 months after the rebasing.
Few commodities that are still, same, but rice particularly has dropped from about 90,000 to 69,000.
Are you eating only rice? Do you think rice alone will count? What happened to the oil? What happened to the beef? What happened to fish? The protein? We need this protein more than the rice.
The fuel issue of it really affect us, affect our business. Passengers don't used to follow us. Even at the end of the day, the little ones that you will carry, you still end up spending everything on fuel.
So it's very costly in the market, especially somebody like me. So you doesn't have to buy the one way you support to buy in the market because it's day one kind.
The central bank is resolute and committed to continuing to fight the war against inflation. There's no going back on that. And as I have said at previous fora, we are going to deploy everything in our arsenal.
With GDP on the rise, inflation cooling, and the Naira gaining traction, financial experts say Nigeria's economic outlook remains cautiously optimistic.
Central Bank increased the MPR rate by 8.75%, from 18.75% to about 27.5% last year. So all this, one would say that Central Bank is playing its role, but it's contending with other factors. Most of it structural deficiency in the economy, as well as part of the fallout, or we call spillover from fiscal authorities' actions.
While inflation is gradually slowing following the rebasing of the Consumer Price Index, however, there seems to be a disconnect with the NBS figures and the actual market price. Perhaps the big dilemma before President Tinubu as he enters his third year is how he intends to balance the immediate impact of his economic reforms and the long-term benefit. But for now, most Nigerians are holding on to not just the hope of a better tomorrow, but the promise of a daily bread.
So guys, a whole lot has happened in this country, and the worst of it is that people are now lamenting that Nigerians are not reactionary. I mean, people are not reactionary. The things are getting worse in this country. Nigerians are just sleeping. I mean, people are not voicing out, people are not, as in, expressing themselves the way they suppose, and that is why things are getting worse. I've just told you that in Imo State is becoming a no-go area, and you will see the governor coming out to talk about the project. What is project outside of security, for heaven's sake? Look at the Benue State people. They were seen holding banner for Tinubu's re-election. And obedience, and not just obedience, Nigerians have been reacting that see these people. After all the buying, instead of them to gather together and stand against the Tinubu's government, they are now the ones supporting Tinubu. I mean, after all the buying of people. See, that is why, the strategy is keep them poor. When you keep them poor, even if it's biscuits you give to them, they will sell their conscience. They will sell their votes. They will sell their PVC. Keep them poor. Keep them poor. That is it. Tell me what it would cost Tinubu to have used the 39 billion used in renovating just a conference center, to have used it to better the lives of Nigerians, even to embark on training Nigerians on tech. Building a particular place, putting electricity and making sure you supply computers there and let people, talented Nigerians, come and train other Nigerians on how to make money online. Reduce electricity tariff, reduce telecom tariff, give Nigerians access to the internet so that people, these are the things. See, when Peter Obi is talking about production, it's not as if you have to carry hoe and cutlass and go to the farm. No. From your bedroom, you can be productive. But that is what this government, they don't want you to say. Now, it's all about re-election. Everything they are saying, re-election. No more governance. Tinubu has governed for 2 years. The remaining 2 years is campaigning. Let's see how this country is going to try. But I tell you, the transformation of this country is in your hand, is in my hand. Let's put heads together and stop these cabals. Because for them, the ordinary man means nothing to them. The things you are going through means nothing to them. Anyway, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Please don't forget to subscribe to the channel, turn on the notification bell. Please give this video a like so that YouTube can recommend it to others. Drop your thoughts in the comment section below. Thank you.